No one is coming to save you. No one, no one. You actually have to take 100% responsibility of your life, because even the Bible itself says that I will bless the works of your hands. So there is some input that you actually have to put in before God is going to step into your situation. If you want someone to help you, then you should be in a position that you can be helped. Someone is going to throw the lifeline, but you have to swim at least to get to the lifeline. You can't just lie there and blame life for each and every misfortune that you have been through. Yes, life is unfair, but in retrospect, I think it actually is fair. You know why I say so? Life is fair because at the end of the day, it is unfair to everyone. There is no one who has always had life on a silver platter to the point that everything has always flawed since the day that they were born. No one has just been on one sweet song. We have all went through our got-throughs, basically. And simply because of that, that means in as much as your got-through isn't mine also isn't yours. And we have our specific, certain particular portions of where the trials and tribulations that life has actually put aside for us. So there is no such thing as a perfect life. Just as much as there is no such thing as a perfect relationship, right? For it to work, for the relationship to work, you actually have to work on it. And it's the same with life. For life itself to work, you actually have to work on it, right? So you can't put yourself in a position where you leave everything to God. That's where the Bible also says faith without work is dead. Right? You can't ever put yourself in a position that you relieve yourself of responsibility simply because you want to be lazy. There is a big difference between having faith and being lazy. And work and faith are things that actually flow and work hand in hand. There will never be a situation where you just need to have faith and you don't have to put in the work. No. And there will also never be a situation where you just have to put in the work and you don't have to have faith. No, these things actually work hand in hand. So if you want to get to, let's say, Angola, right? You want to get there from South Africa to Angola. If you want to do that, you first have to have faith that the plane is going to land. You have to have faith that you are going to get there. And second of all, you need to go to OR Tambo. You can't just sit at home and have faith that you're going to make it there. You actually have to walk. So it's a combination of work and faith. And the problem with this generation is that it has been churning and creating these prayer warriors that believe and think that everything has to be a miracle. Being alive itself is miracle enough. After that, your life is your responsibility. You need to realize that if you were God, if we were to make you God today, and we say we need you to create a powerful human being, and if you wanted to make a human powerful, if you wanted to make a human patient, if you wanted to make a human great, what would you put them through for them to become that? And I will argue to say, if you wanted to make a human strong, then you will have to put them through pain. If you wanted to make a human patient, then you would have to actually take your time with your plans and not give them things instantly, right? If you wanted to make a human great, then you would also have to put them through a whole lot of adversity. You can't just hand them things on a silver platter, because if you hand things to people on a silver platter, it just makes them lazy, it makes them complacent, and it makes them worthless. And that can never actually be a good human being. So for you to actually be a good human being, you need the Lord that you are crying about right now. So the Lord that you are getting on your shoulders is not a curse. It is not a burden, but actually it is a blessing in disguise. Do you remember what happened with David? Right. So David was to tackle and wrestle against Goliath until one of them had died. And the thing that happened is each and everyone would look at Goliath as an obstacle, but not David. Well, I at least want to think so, because when David got there, He asked, so if I kill that dude, that big giant and buff guy, if I'm going to take him down, what am I going to be given? So instead of looking at it as an obstacle, instead of looking at Goliath as this brick and Lord impeding and trying to make sure that he doesn't get to his destiny or what, he actually saw Goliath as a stepping stone. He looked at him and he was like, you know what, this is a problem that I can actually solve, and it will get me to the next level. And I think and I feel that each and every human being should take responsibility, because it is in responsibility that we see the meaning of life. Look, life is going to be painful at the end of the day. Life is pain. There's some obstacle that is going to get in your way. There's some punches and some jabs that life is going to deliver on you. And the question is, are you going to tap out or are you going to fight? And the only reason why someone would fight and someone would stand is if they find meaning in the fight. Otherwise, it's just plain suffering, right? So what is the meaning you're going to attach to your suffering? Yes, you're going through depression, but what does that mean? Does that mean depression is going to take you down, or does that mean your depression is going to turn into a testimony that you will speak out and fight against depression, not only in your life but also in other people's life when you help them, right? I get it that you're broke, but does that mean that being broke is the final sentence, or are you going to use it as a stepping stone to actually manage to create wealth for the next generation? Because you can't keep complaining that life dealt you with the wrong cards and life dealt you with cards that are just not playable in some sense. So you have to actually step up and be like, well, okay, this is what life gave me, and I need to make hay whilst the sun shines. Even though the sun is not shining that bright, I have this much hay and I don't have much hay, but you need to actually, at the end, take advantage of the opportunity of a lifetime, in the lifetime of that opportunity. Cheers.